Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to Spoilers with Menchaca. This is the show where we talk about spoilers. Assuming you've watched a movie, we're going to review it. We're going to talk about it, give our thoughts, our opinions, and basically gush over all the things that we just saw. I am your host, Louis Menchaca, and to my right, we have the ageless Immortal Tony.
Hi.
And next to him, we got the soldier of fortune, Juan. And the marketing guru, Carlo.
What's up?
All right, so if you like this idea, give us a like, share us with your friends, subscribe for more content. You can follow me on Twitter at Chakalaka88, as well as PSN, Steam, XBO, and Twitch, all Chakalaka88, all across the board, easy to remember. If you have already seen this movie, which I'm assuming you have, be sure to leave a comment, tell us your favorite part, tell us what you agree or disagree with anything we say, as well as you can listen to the show on iTunes, on Google Play. It's all in the description.
There we go.
All right.
You did good. That's long-winded. Are you okay?
I know, man.
You want to take a deep breath?
Why are you
You haven't
sweating?
done this in a long time, huh?
I haven't done this in a long time. I was just making it up as I go.
All right.
All right. You did good.
All right, so thoughts. Okay, but before we start, actually, I just want to throw this out there, humble brag, or just straight up bragging. Who the fuck cares?
Humble brag.
I watched this movie twice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was.
Hey, tell them the conversation.
And this is
we had
Thursday.
earlier.
Yeah.
Tell them about the conversation we had earlier on the phone, like where I called you and you're like, "Hey, man," I asked you, "Hey, did you already watch the movie?" And
I
you're
was like,
"Yeah, man." It's the second time I watched it. I'm
Yeah.
like, calm your ass down.
I know.
I just walked out of the theater.
And I talked to him too on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, I already watched it twice." I mean, he had to throw that in
Why
there.
did you have to say that for, man?
Because it was that good.
That's not humble.
His plan is to watch it every day in the month of April.
I was planning on watching it 4 times this weekend, but that didn't quite
So
work
you have
out.
you have the advantage over us in terms of remembering the details.
Yeah.
About the movie. So
Also, I mean, I have not hashtag not sponsored, but I got Movie Pass, so you know, there's
Oh, yeah,
also
that's
that.
right.
So, but anyways, let's
Hashtag plug in.
hashtag not sponsored. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and start off. First off, I want to say the movie started off very ominously. It starts very quiet. Well, first off, the Marvel Studios logo when they put the 10 on there,
yeah.
I was like, oh, it was a very nice
What's
touch.
the 10 for?
10 years.
10 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Has it
2008.
really been 10 years?
Yeah.
It's a 10-year anniversary of Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
So I went through like puberty and everything throughout this 10-year period. I was just playing. That's cool.
So basically,
I didn't know that.
I saw the 10. I was like, "What does it
Didn't
represent?"
make any sense to me.
10th year anniversary.
Well, actually, had they not, they pushed the release date a week prior.
Yes, prior, right? I knew that.
If the release date stayed the same and didn't get pushed a week, it would have been the 10-year anniversary to the day that Iron Man 1 came out.
Why did they do that?
I think
Because
international markets,
they always put movies up a week early, and they don't want to do spoilers or worry about spoilers, so they just want
Got
to
you.
do one
All together.
worldwide release.
That makes sense.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, first off, Loki dying was insane. I was a little.
I still don't believe he's dead.
You don't think he was? Do you think it was like a hologram kind of thing or whatever? Because I thought he can't. You
can
faced
do that.
him.
No, because he tried to lunge for Thanos. I mean, unless what would be the point unless it was to trick Thor again?
His trick though, like when he copies himself, that person can touch people too.
Yeah,
Are you
I
sure?
thought it was
Yeah.
a face.
Yeah, 'cause in-
Because
in Thor Ragnarok, he made himself like a little clone on the other side of the room. Like he visited Thor while he was in the little cell or whatever,
and then he was
threw a
throwing
rock
rocks through him and everything. And also he whenever Avengers 1, when he tried to tackle Loki, he just phased right through him and into the little glass box.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, because I can't remember a time when
I
he
don't
was
think he
supposed to
actually is physically like able to.
Oh no! Wait,
What
what about in Thor: The Dark World?
One
Right
of
there
them-
when he
one
died.
of them he did. Like he died, but then he
was
really
holding
didn't
him in
die.
his
He was
hands,
holding him.
right?
Yeah. He was making.
So maybe
him,
it's selective?
That's what I was thinking because he was actually holding him and he died, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't even there. He was like somewhere else.
He
He was
could've.
watching them.
He could have.
I don't know, man. We don't know the rules.
In 10 words or less, we should all each have our own review in 10 words or less. Like, what are your thoughts on the movie? I know we kind of already dug in there, but I want to know, starting with you since you've already seen it.
Magnus Opus,
Magnus Opus. Okay.
masterpiece.
Oh, shit.
Is that one word or two?
All right.
I'd say it could be a timeless movie,
Crap, that was many words.
except for maybe it's a little racist.
Well,
little
that was like
misogynist.
16, 17 words.
It's a lot of superlatives here.
Okay,
Juan,
okay.
you're up.
The words that come to my mind is awesome.
Well,
That was 9.
well,
All right,
that's
cool.
I'm going to keep it simple. It was the movie of the year. Damn.
Well, dude.
I
See, it's
overdid
not
it.
as easy as it looks.
It's not. It's hard. That was a movie of the year for me. That's my opinion about it. So if you haven't seen it yet, we're gonna spoil a lot of shit. So you probably want to stop watching it now.
Yeah.
But just know that it's.
I mean, like we
we
already
I mean, you
spoiled
already
that
know
Loki
that Loki
died.
died.
Loki, yeah.
No, like I said, that's what the show is called. It's called Spoilers with Menchaca. It's
Yeah.
it's the review show. We're assuming that you've already watched it. So
Yeah, to reference Drake, if you're hearing this, it's already too late.
Yeah.
Damn.
Too late.
Damn.
you mean Vision? You mean?
No, Drake, you know the album. You know, if you're reading this, it's already
Oh
too late.
yeah. Oh right.
It's
Thank
an
you.
old reference.
All right. So, what's the next? Where are we going from here?
Let's go with positives. Let's
All
go
right.
with actually. You know what? Let's go with negatives first.
Yeah, I was gonna say negatives because we want to
bring it down,
Yeah,
and then
bring it
we'll
down
pick it
and then
back
bring
up.
it back up.
Yeah, let's
right?
go negative first.
All right. Okay. I think Tony's got something on his mind.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, this could have been a movie that lasted for a while, but it was just, I mean, it was good overall, but there was just like a lot of racism and sexism in it. You could see Hollywood still struggling to get out of that trap, that mentality.
That's a good point.
Okay.
I didn't look at it with those eyes.
I didn't bring it. Yeah, I didn't.
I looked at it with my entertainment
now that
eyes.
now that you're saying
But
that,
that's a
it's
good
like
point.
whoa.
Yeah, I
hold
mean,
on.
like
which part?
if you notice towards the end, I mean, obviously we already said it's spoilers, but they killed like the main black characters and almost all of them. I mean, that's clearly some racist stuff. Like
Except
that.
went after Wakanda.
Except Rhodes lived.
But
though.
No,
there's a
but see,
story-
okay, so
but
the
there's a
least
story
unimportant
behind-
one,
There's a reason.
the
I know
sidekick.
I know they didn't make it clear, but there's a reason why those guys, they became dust. There's a reason behind that.
I mean,
there is, and it was random.
No, it was not. I saw some blogs or whatever on that. There's a reason why, theories, and the second thing is, are they really dead, and are they going to come back? That's
They just what he did was he just made them disappear. Like they just stopped living. Like
right.
and turn to dust.
But,
Just
but
turn to
no,
ash.
but that's the question: are they really dead? So
well, they could be really dead,
They
but they
are
could
dead.
still be undeaded.
yeah,
later.
as long as you have.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If you have the power, you
Yeah,
can
how
bring 'em back.
permanent is it going
Right.
to be?
So,
But
there
see,
goes your
well,
theory
I would
about being
say
racist.
as far as quality of the movie, I would think it would be not a great idea just to bring them back, unless they figure out a way to do it real special. Because then it just feels like, hey, we're teasing you with this, but we all know it's not going to happen, and then it didn't happen. So it's like it's going to retroactively make this movie worse over time if they do that in the next.
Where's
movie.
the sexist part come in?
The sexist
The
part?
women?
Well, the one that really caught
Women
my
were
eye.
badass.
Yeah, like that last
Hashtag
fight.
chick fight.
Yeah,
Cat
see,
fight. Yeah.
the only way you can have a powerful woman in a movie, especially a big Marvel movie, is if she's fighting with other
Other women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's a
Well,
misogynistic
and
stuff
then
right
another
there.
thing is Elizabeth Olsen.
No, hold on.
Proxima
Wait,
Midnight
hold on.
Suns.
Before you get to that, no, Black Widow in these Marvel, she kicks everybody's ass, guys, girls, everything.
in the series.
Yeah,
the
she's
series,
pretty good, but
yeah.
she's usually been relegated to a like kind of a side.
But why doesn't she have her own movie?
Exactly. See, I'm telling you, bro,
See,
this is
there
the
it is.
sexism I'm
You're
talking
right,
about.
you're right, you're
and then
right.
not even on top of that, that fight even had some racist overtones too, because at the end of the fight, they had to send a white girl in to come save them.
Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah. That's what I was
So
about
now
to
there's
say.
white and black girl
yeah, they had a white girl and a black girl fighting,
from
but then a white girl had to come
entertainment
save them.
value, I mean, I
fighting
get what
against
you're
a
saying.
gray girl.
I know you're a civil rights guy,
Actually,
but
I'm not. This is all just
From an,
bullcrap.
from
He's
an
pulling
It's
out
entertainment
his ass.
I really am, because I read so many.
I think a lot of people are naive to go to the movies and to think of those things, which is really
No, but see, that's the thing. I've the kind of stuff that I be reading and stuff, or that I be reading, the kind of videos and stuff that I that I be reading, the kind of videos that I come across,
power.
yes, that I come across. It's always you'll find like these sites like Jezebel or Salon or
Yeah.
something. There's always at least 5 writers that just notice every racist thing that doesn't even exist
Yeah.
in everything.
That's
Yeah.
not a good way to live,
Yeah,
man.
it's really not. But see,
it's
I
not.
go to McDonald's and I can see a bunch of racist stuff.
yeah,
there,
if
I
you
wanted
look for
to.
it, you can find.
Right.
You know,
I
seeking
don't
you
want
shall
to.
Seeking, you
find.
shall find. Yeah.
I see racism in like Looney Tunes, man. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's really racist though.
That's real though. That's
and Sesame Street.
yeah.
Okay, that one
Yeah.
I didn't see.
No,
man.
not Sesame Street.
Yeah.
I thought they were more like
Dave
California,
Chappelle,
more
like,
liberal.
literally told you how it was. I mean, they have a pimp.
Oh
They
yeah,
have a junkie.
How many-
They got Oscar the Grouch who lives in a fucking can. I mean,
Yeah.
a
All right.
homeless bum.
We're getting off topic.
I
All right.
can even see it a nice.
All
one.
right, Juan. Negatives.
You know, I guess a negative. Spoiler alert. It was Thanos won. I mean, that's nobody wants to see him win.
You're saying a villain winning is a bad thing?
It could be a bad. I mean, that's a bad in the storyline, but
I mean, I think as a moviegoer, it was pretty unique and different and like
I think
something
it's a
unexpected.
positive. I think
Yeah.
it's a positive because it's unexpected.
and that can't be racist either because the purple guy won.
The Marvel
the
has the
purple
balls
people
to do
won.
that.
No,
Yeah.
but it can be sexist because it was a man.
Ah, yeah, you're right. You're right. But he did love his daughters. right?
He did.
So
Yeah.
much
He gave
so
his
that
daughter's
But
power.
see, how much did he really love him when push came
killed
to
her.
shove? He just threw
He
them
literally
away.
pushed her.
Look
Yeah,
how
see?
unracist he is. He got a blue one and a green
green
one.
one.
I mean, come on, man.
And 4
But he
black
didn't
ones.
get a
And
black
4
one.
black ones.
Where was the black one?
and 4
Where was
black
the
ones.
brown one? Where was
well,
the yellow
technically,
one?
Zoe Saldana is like brown.
Yeah, but see,
black.
she could only be his daughter if they covered her skin. See? The racial overtones are all over the place.
Damn, you're right. Okay. Well, I think that Thanos one was kind of like a negative, but honestly, it's one of those positive
Yeah.
things because it was badass. You weren't expecting
Yeah, and you could
it.
kind of feel for where he was coming from too. It wasn't like he was just like a crazy.
That's
bad
another
guy.
thing.
They did a great
That's
job.
another
Yeah.
thing.
They did a
I
great
did not
job
want to side with
sympathizing.
him.
Right, sympathizing
I did not
with him.
believe his fucking tears, his crocodile tears, none of that.
I did.
shit.
I did.
I
actually.
did not.
I did.
I'm like,
And
I
by
was
the way,
sitting there
that-
laughing. I was like, why is he crying? This is
Really? Like
bullshit.
that
he
scene where
actually
he throws
does love
Gamora off?
Gamora.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
Thanos played by Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was with
And was that-
Gamora. I was with Gamora.
like, you don't
I was
love
laughing with her when she was like, yeah,
don't love
you
him.
don't love me. Like she thought
Yeah.
that he didn't love her. And even though he was showing tears and like I knew where it was headed,
Yeah.
I still didn't believe that he really loved her. I don't think he deserved the stone. I honestly did. I mean,
like-
but
I mean,
but whenever
it was
he
a
went to
little
his
rough.
soul plane or whatever,
And talked
and
to
he saw
Gamora,
Gamora, then like, okay,
Okay.
he probably does love her. I mean, that's who he goes to see. You
Yeah.
know, after all of this shit
And he was like,
happens.
what did it cost? Everything.
Yeah, everything. You
Yeah.
know, right? So
Well, I mean, if I wouldn't say if you pay attention, but like from what I recall from Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, even though Gamora really hated Thanos, there was always it clearly made it like she was the favorite. At
yeah,
least.
of course. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she
yeah.
knew that
She,
she
she knew
was.
that,
She knew
and
that
even when
she
she killed him, thought she killed him, she was crying. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
she
so
even
she
mentioned
really
in
loved
this
him,
movie.
and
and he
got-
mentioned it too.
Yeah.
He's like, "See, I knew you love me,
Yeah.
even though you."
She was
did
everything that,
Yeah.
that I
I
know
hate-
that I learned from you and I hate. You know, she
Yeah.
said that during the movie
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Carlo,
It's crazy.
any negatives?
Well, I was kind of talking about it earlier. You know, the 2.5 hour movie in any situation can tend to be a long time, and this really isn't even a negative. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up, but I felt like there could have been more movie. Like, you know, I didn't feel
Like
like
30
it was
more
2.5 movies.
Yeah.
You know, so I felt like there could have been
30
more.
more
And
minutes.
it left me with kind of like, what the
Yeah.
hell, you know?
Yeah, if I can give
But-
some of my real negatives there, I don't know if it necessarily needs to be longer, but I kind of wanted it to be just because
too.
like there was like a lot of moments that I felt could have been so much more powerful, like sad ones, if they just had a
Right.
little more time to
Right.
develop to make us
To develop the
yeah,
But
like a
also
connection to the
characters-
characters.
But in this
though,
movie,
that's
they didn't
hard.
have to develop
Yeah.
characters. We already know the characters.
I know.
Yeah.
But
I
they
don't
could have
know.
put more storyline into it.
Develop
Yeah.
the story.
I
Yeah.
think they developed Thanos a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't
Yeah,
want to be on his
because-
side. I didn't want to be on his side.
They
Didn't.
backdoor made him the protagonist.
Yeah.
Like it's like oh yeah. He's
Well, they basically did what they did for
justifying why he
Killmonger.
I had a
everything.
question. Now, was it? I don't know if it's for you guys, but for Thanos, for me, he looked like that the Hellboy stone.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hellboy.
Kinda.
He looked
He's got
a
that
lot
look.
like
Ron
him.
Perlman, like, or the
yeah,
Ron
Hellboy?
Ron Perlman. Yeah.
He had that look for sure.
I was like, I was kind of confused. I'm like, is that part of the Marvel? But it's
No,
not.
whatever.
no,
I
it's
know
its own little
not, but,
thing.
you know,
You could see Josh Brolin's face
Yeah.
though underneath it. right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you
after,
get a
after
little
a
bit.
while, I realized that.
Yeah.
But
Like his
I
face.
had to do a double take,
Yeah, you had to look a little deep.
and after
into
about
it.
an hour, I realized that's not Hellboy.
For me,
Uh,
like the.
I have a few negatives.
Okay, what's up?
Not all the characters were in the movie.
Hawkeye, Ant-Man.
Hawkeye, yeah.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Nick Fury wasn't in it as much.
the credits.
Just a
Until
little
the
in.
credits at the end.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, there was credits at the,
The
end?
post-credits.
they didn't bring Coulson back.
Like,
They should have bring
well,
Coulson.
Coulson's coming back in Marvel, in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah,
he's
but
coming
it's
back
set in
in
the 90s, so it doesn't
So
count.
they're not leaving the ending like this, right? They're gonna have another movie.
Yeah,
They're not
the
being-
Avengers.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're taking it to the 90s, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's going to be like a
90s.
prequel. It'll be set in the 90s. So it'll be
And
Ant-Man right
and when
afterwards. in like a month
technically
or
he
two.
was the first. She was the first Avenger before.
Or well,
Because they
no,
were saying-
it would still be Captain America because he was in the
Well,
40s.
they brought that up that technically he was the first Avenger, but she was she is the first Avenger because they came up with the Avengers, I guess.
That's how.
Well, no,
inspired
but
the
it-
Nick
reason why he
Fury.
had a beeper was because it was from the 90s.
yeah.
That's why he had a beeper.
I saw that.
Because
yeah.
and well,
It's an-
I only know that because I read that. I was like, "What the fuck was up with the beeper?" You
Yeah.
know, and then they were talking about it because
You didn't recognize that was
movie-
Captain Marvel's logo?
Oh no, I knew that was Captain Marvel. I was
no,
telling
he was just
everybody.
wondering like,
Well, I'm
why-
saying,
why
why
you're
does he have a
looking to buy it,
beeper?
yeah.
Right? Why does he have a beeper?
When
And
we
I was
have
like,
a space
badass
beeper.
technology.
yeah, he had a beeper
And Nick
because.
Fury's known for technology.
Yeah.
yeah, so he should have some like high tech.
So then
stuff.
everybody's like, wait. So if Nick Fury had Captain Marvel,
Why wouldn't he call him during
Why wouldn't he have
Avengers
called
1?
him through all
Avengers
these other
1?
Well, I think
Avengers
I
movies and all
heard
this
either
stuff?
Lewis told me or I think I just heard through like reading stuff and whatever. Like Captain Marvel's supposed to be the most powerful character
Yeah.
ever or whatever.
Well,
so it's like this is the first time that
That's
a situation.
debatable.
Well, it's debatable if it should be the case, but I don't think it's debatable. I think Kevin Feige said like she's
his
going to be the most
intention,
powerful
yeah.
person.
No,
in the
I
whole-
think Adam
Scarlet Witch.
Warlock. No, I
Scarlet
think
Witch.
Adam Warlock.
Well, he's not coming out until
Volume 3.
Yeah, so after Infinity War. So far, she
Right.
will be the most powerful when she debuts.
Well, when she
no
debuts,
one
okay.
will be more powerful than her.
Well, I mean, she's
supposedly.
basically Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like Superman.
Super
actually.
Superman. Yeah, super. See, that's not sexist. yeah, they
Hashtag
got their own
feminism.
version, right? Okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just talking about like all the characters not being in it.
Yeah.
I was fucking disappointed, and I gotta fucking bring this up. How in the hell did Hulk get his ass beat so fucking easily? That's bullshit. That is I
You
call
call
bullshit
BS
on that.
yeah.
That was BS.
I think that's like what you were saying. If it's true that Mark Ruffalo really wanted
Yeah.
to be like acting and talking and stuff, it's probably only because of that. Because it makes no sense to me,
Listen,
especially that it happens
There's
so
no
fast.
reason
Yeah,
that he
yes,
would lose like that.
exactly. You know
he
what?
could lose, but not that
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
exactly.
it-
You know what I mean?
it needs to be
Exactly. I would've
deserved.
been
It needs to be
happy-
earned.
I would have been happy if he would have got his ass beat like he did, but they fucking and it like really gave him a beating. Like
Yeah.
gave Thanos like.
So I will
started
say it
bleeding
makes
and shit.
sense in a way because usually with the Hulk, the longer a fight goes on, the madder he
Exactly,
gets,
the
the
more-
madder he gets, the
Right,
stronger he
right.
gets.
Yeah.
So if Thanos was gonna beat him,
And
he would
Thanos
have to do
wasn't
it
as
real
strong
quick.
as he was towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He only had like two or three
The
stones.
one
Yeah.
stone. Yeah,
Or
the
one
power stone.
He
Well,
only
see,
had-
but that's the main one though. When you're gonna fight someone in a
Right.
brawl, so like
Right.
the other ones, they would let him do like some tricks and stuff. But
That's
that would
another
be the
racist thing. Where the hell is the white and the black stone? Why weren't there no black
they
stones in
left
it?
them out.
God, anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No,
again.
that's a good point, man.
I cut you off
So
again.
the story behind it was what I read on I don't know if it was Entertainment Weekly. I don't know what website I read that on was. I know that there was a Jimmy Kimmel interview that Mark Ruffalo said that not on this movie but the prior movie he negotiated a way
more screen
for him
time.
to get more
Screen
screen time.
time.
So
more
that's
talk
why
time.
the
That's why the Hulk spoke more.
Thor
on the
3.
Okay, wait. So
and-
it's just that he wanted to be able to act more. So then,
He act more,
really,
yeah.
he could have. So he just didn't want to play the Hulk because the Hulk is
Because he
usually a
almost-
fighting,
he's not- he's
not
brawling
on
kind of
screen.
character.
He's
He
not on
almost
screen.
said that he didn't want to do it anymore. He didn't want to reprise the role anymore.
Okay,
they
so
had to
but
give him
So
some
they had.
lines.
So they had.
before Thor Ragnarok or after Thor Ragnarok?
No. This is before
Thor
Thor
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Okay, so they brought him, or he was able to come back because they gave him so much more speaking
Right,
roles and,
and
time
then he
like that.
then he reprised the role for this
Okay,
movie as well.
so they were just kind of
Besides,
going with what
it
he
was like
wanted.
part of a larger trilogy. They said that the Hulk has a trilogy between Thor Ragnarok, Avengers 3, and Avengers 4.
Okay,
It's an arc.
His arc will. Okay, I guess that could be.
So
That's probably how they sold it to him. Then, like you're. Gonna
So
have an
it seems like
important
the
role.
producers for this movie, or whoever was in charge of the storyline, they wanted to hurry up and just do that little the fight between Thanos and Hulk, just to get that out of the way. That's kind of what.
Yeah.
That's why we flew that way.
Remember when
pissed
I
off.
before this even came out, I said, dude, I hope. What goes? Why isn't the Hulk? Remember we had. I'm pretty sure I had the conversation with you. I said, wait, hold on. Why doesn't the Hulk just fucking beat Thanos? Wouldn't he be the one that beat him? But
But in the
obviously
comics, he
not.
gets his ass handed him too as well.
Sometimes because
And
because
by a
by-
non-powered
by-
Thanos.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
powered
yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
Thanos is a god and he's pretty powerful.
pretty powerful.
The only thing is with the Hulk. I mean, in theory,
Well, no, he's
you
not a
could
god.
beat the
He's
Hulk.
an
Like
en-
if
he's
you
an
go,
engineered guy. Engineered.
is he? Well, no,
Yeah.
I think he's like a mutant god. Like
Yeah, like a
he's-
mutant.
Yeah, like
mutant engineered.
of the race of gods. He was like a random mutant that was just all freaky looking,
Yeah.
and they all just gonna turn their backs on him.
Yeah.
But no, people have beaten the Hulk before. Like Wolverine versus Hulk is one of those epic fights that you would think Wolverine
Would just-
will get Malu
shred
out.
him.
Yeah, well, it depends though because Hulk, the stronger he gets, the madder he gets, the stronger he gets. The stronger he
That's
gets,
right.
the more invulnerable he gets too. But then you have Wolverine who's got a healing factor, which makes him practically immortal, and a skeleton that won't break.
Right. Oh, that's
So
true.
it's like what do you call it? An immovable object,
unstoppable
or an
force.
Yeah, but
unstoppable force
Wolverine
situation.
died.
Well, they might bring him
mortal.
back with these Infinity
I
Stones.
heard about
that's
that.
true.
I heard about that.
Yeah, every time.
Dude, are we gonna let you speak anytime?
No, it's
All right,
fine.
go ahead.
What are your negatives? I'm
My
sorry.
only negative I can think of is what I've already heard from someone else. Shout out to the YouTube channel. Not really, but because I'm not
What
gonna name
was
the.
that? Hold on,
I'm not
hold
gonna
on.
name
Shout
it.
out, but
It
not
seems
shout
like
out.
you're
not
bitter
really.
about something. What's going on with that?
Well, because I feel like I had the thought first, but because I know I just watched it, like just and
I can't take credit for
I
it.
can't take credit for that.
Of course
okay.
you can. We all know that.
But Tony, because like we have these conversations with me and Tony all the time. He's like, that's not your thought. I'm like, shut up, Tony, because he knows I got it from a YouTube channel. or something
Yeah.
like that.
No, but it concurred with what you already
Yeah.
thought first before you heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The movie almost doesn't stand on its own. Like kind of, you need to have the prerequisites of having watched the other movies, like a
of
required reading kind of thing. So much so that the movie is not a normal movie because a movie is like a self-contained, like its own story. It's got a beginning, a middle, and end, like a 3-act structure.
Right.
So you're like the Winter Soldier. The reason why it's the best Marvel movie ever is because it's an independent.
You can watch it and
on
not
its
know
own
anything
merits.
about it and know what's going
Well,
on.
you could almost watch this movie. The only thing that I feel like if this was your first Avengers movie, the only question you would probably have, but you would have it a lot, is who the hell is this guy? Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Who the hell is this guy?
Because everybody's already been developed.
Yeah, like
In
they
a way-
don't.
in a way.
They just introduce you like you
But
already
the
know.
emotional
them.
impact won't be as it is
Yeah.
because the characters don't
Yeah,
mean
the cachet
much.
hasn't been built
The,
up.
the reason why this movie to us was really good is
because Spider-Man and Iron
we've
Man
already
already
invested. We already invested our emotions.
So-
to
Yeah, we've been
each
following them for
character,
such a
right.
long time. We
So
know.
what's
them
your
to some
idea?
degree.
What's
Well, the only real
never have it said
the
it.
only real negative, like I said, is it doesn't follow a 3-act structure. It doesn't.
But
it
is that
doesn't-
important for this type of movie though?
Yeah.
That's
Because the people that watch
So you're
this
saying-
movie are diehard
So
fans.
that, I'm not.
So basically,
Yeah,
you're
this
It's a
was-
saying
nitpick.
that-
For me, it's a nitpick.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was expecting this to be like a masterpiece of cinema.
All right.
In like the Oscar sense.
All right.
But no, but like
I see what he's saying. Like, let's say in a
Okay,
thousand
think
years
about
from
it.
now,
Think about it this
somebody
way.
watches a movie and they're like, they won't know really.
Yeah, like it
Doesn't
probably
make
won't be
sense.
remembered like Field of Dreams or something.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
think
big
about it
movie.
like this:
Right.
The Dark Knight. People give so much credit for The Dark Knight because it really like delved deep into the psychology of who Bruce Wayne is.
Right.
Okay.
Like it gave character development to not just the main hero, but it also gave character development to its villains, like Two-Face and the Joker.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this movie, it gave all its character development to Thanos, and it gave no character development to Black Panther, Captain America, Doctor Strange, and like.
I don't
So
think
what
they-
you're saying is that Christopher Nolan should have directed this movie? Is
No,
that what
well,
you're
it
saying?
might have just been an impossible task with
Yeah,
the amount
right,
of characters
right,
you're talking
right.
about, and
Yeah,
what they were
you're-
trying
It
to
is
do.
an impossible task.
Hey, first
Yeah.
of all, they didn't develop the Joker. How did he get the scars on his face?
He
It doesn't
lied
matter.
about it like
It doesn't matter.
Even the attempted development was a form of development because like the way that he gave you like 5 different ways that he got him.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I know that,
It
but
shows his psyche.
but
It shows
but
his
honestly, you know nothing about his past.
No, but
in
see,
those
I
movies.
think
Because
developing,
that-
but it
his
gets
character-
you give it a sense of the character from even his
that he's
lines.
fucking
Correct.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
The way that he's
He's
doing
a pure
it.
anarchist.
But no, it
Yeah.
awesome movie. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Here's another negative. I know this because I watched the shows, the cartoon movies or shows or whatnot, and the comics.
that I threw you into, but whatever.
that you threw me into.
Into,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, I did watch the whole thing or whatever. Anyways, Vision is not a fucking pussy like he is in this fucking movie. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He is a powerful fucking
know what?
being,
That's
and in
true.
this movie, he was a fucking little girl that getting
Had
stabbed,
damsel
and
in distress.
yeah, he was a
Well,
damn-
damsel in
well,
distress.
he did point it out like that's for some weird reason
The
that
staff.
The
Yeah.
staff
if prevented
yeah.
him from phasing, and they started hitting him off. They basically handicapped him from the get by stabbing him, and he
Yeah.
was trying to recover the whole
Right,
time.
yeah.
So you could say that maybe he really is a badass. It's just that
There's
he
a
was
reason.
wounded.
No, hold on. There's a
It
reason
was a
why they
wounded
did that.
Vision throughout the movie.
There's a reason why they did that was because he is strong,
Yeah.
and had he not been injured or hurt throughout the movie,
But I still
then
think that
then the whole movie would have been
But
different.
but they haven't even done him justice because they haven't showed how powerful he is, and even in other movies, not even in Ultron, he had his
Well,
one little fight
yeah.
scene at the end. Then,
I think they did a pretty good
And then
job
in
in-
Civil
on Ultron
War,
they did.
he fucking hit Ant-Man, and phased
Well,
through
it
him.
made sense in Civil War because you're trying to pull your punches because like
Yeah,
these are your friends and
yeah,
stuff.
okay, I know, but. And in this movie, I thought Vision was going to be a badass.
You
I
were
thought
gonna
he
let
was
him
going to take.
unleash.
I thought he was going to be the one that takes Thanos down. I didn't think it was going to be Thor, but then I started seeing how Thor was starting to develop into be the guy that's going to take him down.
As far as character development goes, I think Thor got like the most of it, as far as heroes goes, like not villain, because Thor was on a revenge quest.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
basically only Thor.
That was his whole movie, his plot line.
who would have got
Getting the
So
Stormbreaker,
this should have been Thor like 4.
and also not to mention that scene he had with Rocket, just him talking about all of his past, about like he's
Yeah,
like
he brought
he's
a lot
having a
of that
tear
stuff up.
for his dad, his brother, his mother,
And he could
the
speak.
best
He could
friend.
speak Groot because it was an
He
elective.
was elected.
So yeah,
He got an eye out of it. He got an eye out of it. He goes, I don't think this works.
I think he did get the most character development as far as heroes go. Maybe
Yeah.
Tony, for maybe a tie.
Tony,
Peter
is-
Dinklage, man, a dwarf giant or something. Oh my god!
That they
I was
just threw
like-
that character in there, right? Because I don't think.
No,
Well, no,
in the
no.
comics he
that-
exists.
he-
In the
he
comics,
doesn't in
in
the
the
comics.
comics, but I'm
he-
saying in any
the-
movie.
Well, because like they had to go back to where he forged Mjolnir, his previous
Okay.
hammer.
And
Yeah.
he also
That's right. yeah,
well,
yeah,
if
yeah.
not him, that placed
Right,
it, and the
but
people
I'm saying
working.
the
And that
people-
wasn't the first time we seen the axe. The other, what was the guy's name? The horse-looking guy.
Oh,
That got-
Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, yeah, Beta Ray Bill got a fucking.
I guess I
axe
did
like
pay
that.
attention.
But no, but
Yeah.
Beta Ray Bill is the one that wields Stormbreaker. But
He's
Stormbreaker,
supposed to.
yes. And so
But they
this
got
was
that
Stormbreaker,
technology.
right?
They
Yeah.
got that technology from the dwarves, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who make the
that
weapons.
make the weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forge.
okay.
They
Because
forge
I
the
noticed
weapons.
that he threw it and then he got the shit back, and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like Thor's shit.
Well, he explained it in the movie.
Yeah, I know he
That's
did.
where
I know he
Mjolnir
did.
was.
Yeah, yeah.
and he also made it more powerful than Mjolnir because he can open up a Bifrost with its own.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
Like this was the
That's pretty
first,
OP.
or not the first, but like maybe the only weapon that could rival the Infinity Gauntlet.
and how
in power.
pimp was it when Groot he used
Oh yeah,
his
chopped off
hands
his
to
arms to
make
make the handle.
that was
fucking crazy.
That was
Yeah.
pimp. I have to
That was a
admit
good one. Hey, I was telling him every time I saw Groot in that movie, I just thought Jason every single time.
Yeah, he was a teenager. So it was a teenager Groot. So if
Yeah.
you know that he was a baby, he grew up to be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
teenager.
Yeah, because every time I see Jason, he just got the little switch in his hand, just like.
But just like Jason, when it mattered, he came through.
Yeah.
Right? He
Yeah.
planted his thing on it. He fucking fucked shit up. Yeah.
But Groot's gone.
I know.
Yeah.
He's gone.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
a sad
Is he
moment.
gone though? That's the thing. Is
I don't know.
he
That
gone?
could be different because I know like the Guardians of the Galaxy, their roster definitely changes a lot. They
the
were
time.
talking about
Yeah,
changing.
Yeah, what's up
the
with
Guardians
that?
of the
Like-
Galaxy actually have more
Like
characters.
12, 15 members.
Yeah, they
But
have
they
more
were
characters.
rotating in. Like,
Yeah, they have
Oh.
more characters. They haven't even touched all of them.
So it's just like the top 4 or 5 right now that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
see.
Yeah, and then the last Guardians of the Galaxy, they had like the old G Guardians of the Galaxy, those the
Sylvester
Sylvester Stallone and all those
yeah.
characters at
The
the, end of
characters
them.
that he would- yeah,
they're
were
still out there, so I mean, they could meet up with Rocket, and that would be the Guardians
Sylvester
in Volume 3.
Stallone?
Yeah, remember at the end of Guardians
Remember
of the Galaxy
Sylvester?
Volume
Yeah.
in Volume 2.
Guardian. They were called the what are they
2?
called?
The one.
No, I don't remember
Raiders.
this.
No.
Yeah.
Ravengers?
Ravagers.
No, I don't remember this.
Sylvester Stallone was a Ravager. He was one of the head guys.
Yeah.
And at the end, they
Remember
did
Yondu?
the funeral thing.
He
Golly, I forgot about that. Yeah, I do remember now. Damn,
man.
that's
Come on
crazy.
now.
And I think it was like the end scene or one of
It
the
was
extra
the-
scenes
yeah.
when they like all got
all got together. And they
Yeah,
did
and the
fucking
fireworks.
thing.
The send off the heroes,
Gotcha.
the
Wow.
heroes funeral.
They gave him
That's
a
a real wow.
Ravager's funeral or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who did a cameo in this movie? He was like the pilot or something like that.
Oh wait, no.
The older guy, I think he was the
Oh,
one
he was
that
a bus
created.
driver, Stan Lee.
Stan
That's
Lee.
what I was.
He was
thinking.
he was a bus driver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did. He created Iron Man or something like that, right? Or
Yeah, he created all
all
of
of
them.
them.
All of them.
Or he's
okay.
got his hands
He-
in it. Like he was working
He's
at
in
Marvel
every
for a while.
movie. He's
Yeah,
in
he
every-
did a
Yeah.
cameo.
He does a
and
Marvel
he was
cameo
hey,
everywhere.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He does a
Yeah,
Marvel
every
cameo on
Marvel
every
movie
Marvel
has
movie,
one.
not just Marvel, but
hope-
Fox and Sony
I hope he
too.
stays
Really.
alive long enough to do more because this is.
I
funny,
think
dude.
they had they've pre-taped like 10 or 20 of them.
Have they
because
really?
yeah, because he's
They-
getting a little bit
oh,
older.
really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I guess they know where they're gonna insert. And his scenes they're never like pivotal.
No,
or
I
anything.
know. It's
So it's just like a
always
little
funny.
throwaway,
Like
you
a
know?
little funny.
Yeah,
Like
so you
when,
just
like,
have to find a way to
And the
fit
Hulk,
it.
he like drinks the drink, he
Yeah,
gets sick
dies
or whatever.
and dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So I going back to the Vision, I did not like that. Like he was the damsel in distress. I thought it was totally BS.
Well, see, that might be the one part that wasn't sexist. They let one Scarlet Witch
Really?
be the hero.
hero.
See, they switched it. See, I'm over here being sexist.
Yeah, see, the movie.
I'm being the sexist guy. Like, no, damsel in distress. No, I mean it was cool.
yeah.
I liked it. I liked the way they explained it. Oh, that staff fucked
Yeah.
me up. I can't phase now. You know, I got it.
And I'll
You
say
know.
I actually liked it. Like, I mean, I'm not as big into actually all this, feminism extra stuff, but I liked in this movie, like, you kind of got the feminism without it like beating you upside the head. Like, oh, look at this powerful woman. Like, she
Right,
don't need
right,
no man.
right.
Like it felt very natural. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like some weird blue hair thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like regular people, like what a woman would do with if she had some incredible powers and like the man she loved was in danger.
Yeah, right,
like it
right.
didn't feel anything like extra or strange or weird about it. Nothing that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just like not normal.
Right.
All right.
Man, all this negative
Positives.
shit.
Well, I feel
Positive.
there was a lot of positives.
No, it was
interlaced into
Very
that
diverse.
negativity.
Like
yeah.
they include women. And
They had like all
Blacks
colors of the
within it?
rainbow.
every race. You
Dude,
get
Yeah,
it.
they
the main
include
stage was in
purple and
Wakanda.
blue.
The black.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like beautiful.
But then they destroyed it.
The leader was black. I mean, perfect.
I mean, that
Well
could be a little
balanced.
bit of the racism too. I mean, why they have to destroy the one great black country in the whole
I
world?
know, that's what I was. That's what I was getting at. Like they had to go to Wakanda and
Yeah.
blow it
That's
up.
the one good,
Really?
See, I'm
the one
saying,
good black paradise.
it's like
and
the
they killed
movie's
it.
fighting with itself. It doesn't know if it's a white supremacist or it's trying to fight for diversity. Like it doesn't know. There was just too many cooks in this pot.
Honestly,
Look,
the positive for this movie is that I feel like they tied a lot of things together.
Yeah.
Which
Surprise,
is
too.
yeah.
The surprise at the end.
I will say that this movie is like the ultimate crossover of crossovers. And I will say this, that it makes Avengers 1 look quaint.
Wow, good point. Actually,
I
he's
wouldn't
right.
say
Think about it
quaint.
this way.
I
No,
agree
but think
with
about
I
it
mean,
this
they
way.
tied it into the first one.
Think about
Yeah.
think about Avengers 1. Okay, you had 6 characters: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and Black Widow and Hawkeye and all. Like you had these 6 characters, and you had 4 movies or 4 solo movies because Iron Man 2, whatever. 4 solo movies leading into the Avengers 1, and it was like, oh my god, this crossover is like. It's just blowing your mind, right?
You look back at
but
it
then,
now.
Yeah, now when you have 40 characters or so
Yeah.
in this movie,
Yeah.
it makes that one look quaint by comparison. That's what
Oh,
I was-
okay, I see what you're
Absolutely.
saying. Because I feel like as movie to movie, they're both pretty like on par. Like I feel like this one reached up to where Avengers 1 like kind of took you and it went a little bit further.
Yeah.
And usually a sequel,
Yeah.
they struggle even getting to that point.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because the
of
week of Ultron was it was like a week, right? It wasn't an age.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the 24 hours.
the
of-
24 hours of Ultron. Yeah, the 48 hours. Yeah, that was. I think it was like one of those things where it was good, but I mean, it didn't require all the Avengers, I guess, to get together.
Yeah.
It was a
If you
little
think
bit.
about- because if
it
you think
was-
about it, Thanos was going to come here anyway.
It was a little bit of marketing material.
Well, it's because Ultron. Well, I don't know if it's because Ultron failed. Because it was at the end of that movie where it's like, fine, I'll do it myself or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
But like, I didn't even understand that exactly because was Ultron part of his plan? Or
No.
No,
I don't
it was
think
that
so.
was.
He was
all-
just people. His minions were like his underlings were not satisfying him with collecting the Infinity Stones. He's like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself."
Yeah.
Okay, so he just
That's
happened
why.
to decide right at the end of
Yeah,
the Avengers
yeah.
too, like,
I
now I'm
honestly
gonna do it.
think it's because Thor's dad Odin died. I think he balanced everything out. If you think about it, he was more powerful than Thor or Helena, whatever her name is.
Hela.
Helena, whatever.
Hela.
Hella.
Goddamn. He was the one who balanced all the realms. If you think about it, it was after he died that he came up.
Oh,
in
yeah.
power, if you think about it.
But it could be the reverse. It could be the fact that everything was going to crap that he died. Because it might not have been that he was holding everything together. It's just that his power was come from how it was held together.
Maybe, but it all literally happened right after the fucking planet or his homeworld blew up. Think about it. They were the guardians of all the realms.
That's a
And
good point.
remember, Odin can just speak enchantments, and it's like
it.
law.
Yeah.
It's like
that's true.
it's done.
True.
You know, he can enchant or
He was more
put-
powerful.
He was more powerful than anything.
Thor, yeah.
But here's the thing, though.
The Allfather.
Odin
Yeah.
Odin said to Thor, "You're more powerful than you think. You don't need a fucking hammer." How come he hasn't got up to the stature of his dad?
Well,
His dad didn't even require a freaking weapon.
No.
well,
think about
Thor didn't either at the end of Thor, but I think
no, that's what I'm saying. He didn't. But for this,
No, Thor realized that it's all in the mind now.
Yeah.
In fact, he said
Well,
that.
yeah,
in this
but-
movie.
but in
The
this
hammer
one-
was just a way of channeling it. That's
Right.
about it. He
He
didn't
actually
need it.
said that this movie as well. I forgot what scene it was, but he.
But think
he
about it. It
mentioned
all
that.
sprang up as soon as the thing blew up. They were in their ship, and then Thanos showed up.
Mhm.
Think about it. I mean, I think it has something to do with it.
I mean, it could. Well, there would have been a little bit of a gap there. It could have just been that he was making.
No,
his
actually, there
move.
was no gap.
No, well, I mean, like from when Odin died to when Thor and Thanos meet. There was the Thor Ragnarok was the gap, basically.
I mean,
beginning of the
how
movie,
how
he
much
dies.
time actually went by? I mean,
I'm not
Hela
sure.
came back and
For
destroyed
Thor, it felt
everything
like a day or two.
A day or two.
Oh, okay.
And then
Maybe.
after they blew up, they all got in a ship. And then if you notice at the end of the movie, fucking Thanos
The
ship
bigger
showed
ship.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
like
we were
right
talking
off
about this, like I don't know, maybe it was something else going on in the background, or maybe it was just Marvel making everything a little bit easier, so it didn't seem quite as spectacular or like incredible in the unbelievable sense that Thanos won. Because like in Civil War, they basically destroyed the Avengers, so they
yeah.
destroyed that. In
Captain
Thor
America
Ragnarok,
lost his shield.
yeah, Captain America lost his shield. In Thor lost his hammer, and that
And his
thing is
eye.
yeah, it's infinitely heavy. So like if he had just put it on Thanos and just refused to pick it up, Thanos would have never moved anywhere ever again. But they destroyed that, so like he couldn't use that. Obviously, they depowered Vision instantly. They depowered Hulk instantly.
Yeah.
Like it's like they took out everything.
Hulk
Odin
had-
died, like you said.
Hulk had
Odin died, and
performance
then
issues.
and Thor got his ass beat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
That's
But see,
ridiculous.
Louis explained to me, if I'm correct, like he said, like Thor's power was connected to Asgard, and it's because Asgard blew up that he didn't have
As much
that
power.
lightning or
Yeah.
that power.
I mean, but he still had the lightning power.
Did well,
His
'cause he
dad,
didn't
his
use
dad
it.
told him that.
Yeah.
He said that's in you, like it's already in you.
But
That's
see,
not-
that's why I didn't understand because I don't know where you were getting that from because I don't
Yeah.
remember it in the movie.
Odin told
He
Odin
didn't-
told Thor that his power and Hela's power both come from Asgard. So the reason why Hela would die in Ragnarok was
It's 'cause
because
Asgard's gone.
her power's gone too. So that's how she died.
Huh.
Okay.
Maybe.
So they both got depowered at the end of it.
Yeah,
Either way,
Kind
they
of.
didn't have
because
any-
he didn't have lightning until after he gets Stormbreaker.
Yeah. Which makes sense then that way. I just didn't recall them
Mm.
saying like the
I don't
power
know.
was connected to Asgard because it was all like Asgard isn't a place;
It's a people.
No,
He lost
home,
half
home,
its
home is
people.
where the heart is.
Exactly.
No, but no, I don't know. I was just thinking, what are dominoes were fell
Yeah.
for Thanos to finally step up? I think it was Odin dying. To be honest with you,
It could have been, but the other thing is like he was going for the Infinity Gauntlet. So
yeah.
I guess it might have changed the story a little bit if Odin was paying attention.
Now remember, they had one of the gauntlets.
A forgery, a fake.
No, it wasn't a fake.
Oh,
It was actually there was more than one. They asked Feige and all those guys, why do they have one? Thanos had to go to Peter Dinklage to make another one.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
why he had
That's
to go
how-
back. There was more than one. It
Oh,
wasn't
but
a forgery.
but the Hela just said it was. She was
But
like,
here's the thing, though.
knocked it
Wasn't
over.
there a scene where, well, that one was a forgery.
yeah,
But do you remember Thanos in one of the other ones where he came and he opened a safe and then he goes?
Yeah.
in
Yeah, I thought
You
that
remember
was,
there
he.
another
I
one?
thought he was in Asgard and he just stole it from.
Yeah,
there.
no, it was another one. They asked him. There was another gauntlet, but then Peter Dinklage literally said, "I made him
that
another
for him.
one." So I'm like,
Okay.
so now there's
He said
three or
another,
two.
though?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean that's what he said. I mean I don't know.
I didn't catch the another part, but I guess that makes. But then why did it look exactly like
Yeah,
like when he
because
opened it?
they made him there. I mean that's where they were
I guess
forged.
maybe they kind of audible
mold.
it.
Remember
mold.
they have the molds. They have a shelf.
So what predictions do you guys have for the follow up for this movie?
They're gonna. One of the heroes is gonna get the.
That'll be
Infinity
Doctor
Gauntlet.
Strange.
It's either be Nebula or Iron Man.
No.
They're gonna get the. They're
How
gonna,
can Doctor Strange get
Doctor
it?
Strange
How can he
is
get
gone.
it if
He's
he's
dead.
dead?
He's gone.
He's
Because he's gonna
what-
find out a way to get out.
Spider-Man, Nick Fury, like all
So
those
one of
good
the
ones.
heroes, it's either Nebula or Iron Man, is gonna wield the Infinity Gauntlet and undo the damage.
What about the Hulk?
How can he undo the down?
Because
Oh
you
no,
can wish-
it has
you
to
can
be.
wish it
It has to be Thor.
Well, it's debatable.
It would have to be
It'd have to be
It would
Thor.
have to be
He
Thor.
literally, Thanos literally said that you
Yeah.
guys would like disintegrate with his power. It has to be a god of some sort,
All right, then maybe Captain Marvel then,
or Captain
Oh,
Marvel.
yeah, probably.
Captain Marvel,
or Thor.
Thor.
What is your predictions?
I mean, I was so surprised by what they chose to do in this movie. Like, I'm not sure because like the only things I can think of that they could do, and it makes sense to do, like from how much people love like Spider-Man and Black Panther, make it feel like the movie's gonna be horrible. So I don't even want to predict it because like what they have to do in some ways is if they're gonna bring back Black Panther, Spider-Man, and then it's gonna undercut this movie completely. Like, what was even
And
the
it
point?
has to be NAACP friendly.
There has to. That's one of the criticisms of Marvel movies in general is that you don't have consequences.
Yeah, but see, this could be the first time
And
that
this is
they
the
do.
first time
This would be a
they
good
do.
time too. The end of a saga.
Yeah.
This would be
To
the time
cap
to
it off-
raise the
to
stakes.
cap it
Yeah.
off good.
But I, like how we were watching a Nerdist video about it, I think it would have to be something pretty important with Iron Man since he started this whole saga. Like this, and the Avengers 4 will be the end of the saga. It kind of has a fittingness that it
He
started with
started
Iron Man and ends with Iron Man.
Did y'all think he was gonna die in this movie?
Yes,
I thought
especially
so too, man.
Especially
I
when he
wasn't
was
sure.
fighting Thanos 1-on-1 and he was losing his armor during the fight. Like he was running out of nano.
Yeah, he didn't have
nanotech.
anything.
And
then
then
he got stabbed.
And then he got stabbed. And like the second time I was
Oh, I thought he was gonna die.
the when I was watching it when he got stabbed, I heard like people in the theater gasp.
I did too.
I heard it too. I heard myself gasp.
And I was at Ridgemar, so I'm like, So yeah,
Here's another
it's
thing that
crazy.
you probably weren't thinking about, and I actually brought this up earlier. Why did they call this movie Avengers?
If it's not an Avengers movie.
wasn't
It's
an
not an
Avengers.
Avengers movie. They didn't get together. One side
There
fought together, and the
And
other
that's it.
side fought
Oh,
over
yeah.
here.
Well, it depends.
They
on
were
what-
separated.
It was two
It
teams.
depends on what you consider the Avengers, I guess. Because I guess the official Avengers, all the government sanctioned one, Rhodey was there.
It
so
was always that was the only thing. But
Sanction.
guess what? Rhodey did. Guess that's a court martial.
Yeah.
So he went to the other side.
Well, I guess it depends who gets to decide who's an Avenger. Because Captain America had a difference of opinion in Civil War.
Spider-Man became an Avenger.
Yeah.
Iron Man
But
knighted
now
him.
he's gone.
Iron Man knighted him.
No, but what I'm
Dang,
saying
Iron
is,
Man gave him the kiss of death. You're an Avenger.
yeah, I know. I go like, well,
No,
you're
he
gonna die
told
now.
him. He told him, "I go, hey, this is a one-way ticket."
Yeah.
So
It's like, did you not think this
he
through?
knew. Yeah. He's a
Well-
little kid. He don't know.
But it still didn't unite the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Well,
So what-
we didn't get the Captain America and
Yeah.
Iron Man reunion.
Yeah.
What,
They
what
didn't
are your
kiss and
predictions
make up.
for the next movie coming up?
For sure, Captain America's gonna die. That's a given. It has to do with more of a contract thing, and he literally alluded to it in his interview.
I don't know. I've heard
He's
in
done.
some.
I
I've heard
heard
like-
last
Back,
He's
I
done.
got backpedaling.
Yeah,
No, he didn't
backpedal.
backpedal.
He's
No.
come out publicly saying that he's done.
That's it. He's done. He literally
like
said,
recently, because
I'm
I
done.
remember
Not
he did.
recent,
He
just
said
like a year
something,
ago or
and it
something.
sounded like real definitive. And then they showed like the source of what he actually said,
Yeah.
and then it started
Had
like they
context.
made it seem like very definitive. But then when you actually read it, it was like a little more like. And Iron Man did this too. Whenever he got done with Iron Man 3, I think.
Yes,
He
he
was
went
like,
and quit.
I'm not sure if
But
I'm
they
going to
gave
do
him
it.
That was more of a
money.
contract thing,
Exactly,
though.
exactly.
That was
for
a
that.
I think Chris
But
Evans.
he's not talking about like that. About a year ago, the most recent one, he did go public, and he stated, "I don't know if I."
Yeah,
want to
he
do
goes,
this."
I
but
don't want to be like this
but
anymore.
See, he might have learned from Robert Downey Jr. That's the same thing.
Oh,
Robert Downey
well,
Jr.
that's
Like,
true,
my
too.
contract's
When he-
expiring. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
he's
Like-
when his
like
movie,
I
the
want a
judge
percentage
flies-
of
and
like
by the way,
those
Robert
sales.
Downey Jr. So if we're talking about like sexism and all, he gets paid way more than any
anyone.
other characters.
But see,
that's
I don't-
because he negotiated well.
Yeah.
He's the one who brought all this together.
And I think
Iron Man brought
he
everything.
makes the movie.
Well, yeah, it's because it's the quality of his acting. Like the people just really respond to him as
Crazy
a
to
character.
say Robert Downey Jr. It's
No.
quality of his acting.
Yeah,
No,
because
he
in
was-
the
he's a
80s
good actor.
in the
Yeah.
80s
No,
and
He
90s,
is. I'm not.
he
Yeah.
was going through the ringer,
But
man.
he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
getting his ass reamed for a
But-
while,
yes,
man.
But he came back and he came back hard.
Yeah.
I
He
just think
did.
they should bring back Ally McBeal. Okay? I'm just saying that. It's fair.
Hey, she's in Supergirl or something now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she's
she is
like
actually.
the
Yeah, I
editor or
forgot.
something.
The boss.
She's
the
coming back in?
The
Hey,
dumb
she's so
bitch.
hot, man.
She's back married to Harrison Ford, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
That I'm
90%
sure.
sure that's true.
But I don't know.
All right.
Okay. Anyway.
So here's one of the things I will say a positive about Avengers Infinity War is that one of the things that people like a lot talk about Avengers 1 is like the moments, right? Like Hulk saying puny God kind of stuff. It's they say like those little moments that everyone talks about. It feels like Infinity War has nothing but those moments. Like a shit ton of them.
All right, name a few.
All right. Rocket Raccoon and Bucky when they did the little spinning thing.
that was funny.
That was funny.
When Captain America was like, I am Steve Rogers.
He goes,
Or when
oh
Captain-
yeah, you're like I am Groot.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Steve Rogers.
And Captain America and Black Panther did the sprint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
together.
went together,
like,
and they were like, whew,
Yeah, they were
burning
fast.
out. Everything involving Iron Man and Doctor Strange and their back and forth. What is he, your ward? Your ward or whatever?
The wizard.
And then everything involving Thor and the Guardians, pretty much. Like
Spider-Man had a few of them too.
This is
He
how my
goes-
voice
He's
always
in the bus.
sounds.
He's like, hey,
That
man,
one was
like,
hilarious.
he's like, hey,
Sounds like
distract
this.
everybody. And he was like, oh, the world's ending or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
That was
like
a good one.
That was a good one because I don't even think he actually like fully comprehended. Like he just saw the ship and
just
just
saw this, like,
oh
bro,
my, yeah. That was just his honest reaction.
That was,
Let's all go see.
but that was funny though. It
Yeah.
kind of ties into it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he distracted bro. I mean, it was just like that.
He just took his headphones off. He's like, oh, we're gonna die.
Like he just saw it and reacted.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was
you make a point.
The whole, well, no, the funny part with the accent when what's his name?
Oh, yeah, with Star-Lord.
Peter Quill changed his
his
voice.
voice
He's like,
like,
oh,
"Oh,
and you're trying to English. He was like, you mocking me? No, are you mocking
Well, Hulk with himself. He was like,
he's
I'll
like,
never
come on,
forget you.
come on, guys. Like, no.
Oh, and then, forget you. I'll do it on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had several ones.
Basically, like the whole movie is just filled with those moments that people are going to be talking about. I feel like this movie just trumps Avengers.
I
1 in that
think
regard.
when you look at like cinema, like in the past 100 years, I think Titanic, Infinity War. I mean, like the acting was so great. It's funny.
Believable too.
Inconsistency though, going back to a
Yeah.
negative inconsistency, they got rid of Scarlet Witch's accent.
Oh yeah,
I noticed that too.
You know what?
I was like,
noticed
she
that. I was
acting
like,
normal
like,
now?
she should know more. Yeah.
She's not Sokovian anymore.
And
whatever the fuck that is.
if any
Sokovian.
places she was in
Sokovian.
Scotland, and I'm like, no accent? What the hell?
Yeah.
Was she American?
It's
now?
because they didn't give her the pay raise. So she's like, I'm not gonna act anything higher.
Well,
than
I guess you could, if I was just going to try to justify it, they were like deep undercover and like hiding out and blah blah blah. So maybe she
Or
had,
no, or like maybe
Shouldn't
she
have
just
to,
had
though.
like years of speech therapy with Vision
yeah.
/
It wasn't years, was it?
Well, because
It was less than a year, wasn't it? Between
I think
Well,
Age
no,
of
it's
Ultron
real
took place in
time-ish.
2015 and Infinity War took
So
place
it's
in
been like
2018.
2015 to 2018,
3 years.
I like the beard.
The beard. I
Oh,
was like,
I see that you
have
grew a
good
beard like me,
You
you
got
know.
a new haircut? It's like, I see you're copying my beard. And I'm like,
yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty funny. He's like, oh yeah, what about Captain America's 2 shields? I mean, I think
Those
it was
were
that was
okay.
pretty cool. I think
Yeah,
it was pretty
they're alright.
When he was when he was like bashing them and stuff and like cutting them.
Hmm.
Also, Captain America holding back Thanos with his
Yeah,
sausage
that
fingers.
scene
That
felt
was-
unnecessary.
That was,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
well, I
they
wouldn't
made
say
it look like
unnecessary.
good in the preview.
yeah, like yeah. But it felt like in the actual movie, it was like nothing to a certain degree. Like
Yeah,
like
it was like,
it didn't make
get out of the
sense.
way.
And then he still like popped him off. Like get out of here.
And the preview was like, oh,
Yeah, like, you thought it was
He's
gonna
like,
be
hell
epic.
yeah, and in the end it was just like, boop, get out of my face.
And it didn't even make sense too because
Well,
like
no,
he's
but
fighting
you know,
a god and
his
he
mind
was
was
holding him.
being controlled.
Think about it.
His mind was being
Captain
controlled.
America was putting
Was
it all down on the line. He knew that he needed to do whatever
Hold
he
the
can
line?
to
First
hold
of all-
the line. To hold the line, yeah, against for
First of
Vision.
all, Captain America is strong, but even he couldn't go up against Loki, so that tells you how strong he really is
They-
compared to these guys.
yeah,
He's not that strong.
Yeah, I mean,
he held his own against Loki in Avengers 1.
yeah, Loki's not even the strongest god. So
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right. Well, let's call
we're
it here.
almost done. We're
Let's
almost
go. We'll call it here. But let's just go with the ratings. Let's end it here.
Okay.
10 out of 10. Tony.
I suck at ratings, but I'll say at least an 8.
All right.
8 and 5, 8.5.
8.5.
9.7.
9.7.
I'll do a straight up 9.
9.
Sure. It did everything right.
Yeah, I just wanted to care about the
Well,
characters more than I did.
technically,
Like I
you
just
did
I wanted a
Gave
little more
it a
depth.
9.
I think like Tony said, I think there were certain moments. Like I almost got teary eyed on one scene, but then it kind of like transitioned into something else.
It's like
So it kind of
They don't-
it didn't
they don't
capture.
they
not
don't let
capture
anything
the
linger.
moment.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah,
of
that's
this
what it
movie made me teary eyed. I don't know. what-
Spider-Man. When
I can
Spider-Man
feel
was like,
it.
Mr. Stark, I don't want to go. I
Yeah.
don't want to go. Like that was
No, but
like,
see, no, I understand
That was
See,
one
what-
of them.
Maybe.
The second one
What
is
you
when
have
he
to do
threw
is
that
you have
bitch
to
over.
revisit that scene in your mind, and you have to hold it a little bit longer than the movie actually lets it. Like if you let it sit with you for
It's
a second,
'cause
it's
I'm
really
an
sad.
emotional
But if you
person,
think
that's
about
why.
it, that one didn't even make sense because everyone else who disappeared didn't even feel it. It was just like they were like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then
I
it's
feel-
dark. I feel sick. I don't feel
No,
good.
he says
and then
I
all of a
feel
sudden,
something.
and then like
you have to
oh,
remember he had a
he
suit
was
on.
the only one that literally like had
Lingered.
like 5 seconds to
To
think about
say I'm
it
sorry
and
and
felt
everything.
bad and that didn't make
He
sense.
had the spider juice in him.
Nah.
The venom.
And then, I think with Rocket seeing Groot disappear was hurt me a little whenever, like
That one, out of all the
Groot's
scenes,
face,
Groot
or,
going away, I actually did.
seeing
feel a little
Rocket's
like,
face,
oh,
like
shit.
basically reliving
Like,
Guardians
what?
1.
Yeah.
All right, let's recap the movie.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Damn it. Okay. Okay.
Just real quick. The movie started, got to the middle, and it ended. The end.
No, like I said, like this movie is sensory overload, and
I definitely want to watch it again.
and I think overall the reason why I give it a 10 is because it's a masterclass in filmmaking in the sense that you're juggling like 40 plus characters, and I think that's a Herculean undertaking, and the Russo brothers did a fucking phenomenal job doing it.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that's why they couldn't squeeze everybody else in.
Yeah.
so any other thoughts?
Well, I mean, they should throw Oprah in there. I mean, she did that one movie. What was the name of that movie?
The time.
Time something in time.
Wait,
Oh.
Wrinkle in Time.
Wrinkle in Time. They should throw that character. I'm just playing. All right, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was spoilers with Menchaca. I know that was one of the longest spoilers we've ever done.
That was a long spoiler.
I think it was like an hour long. But anyways,
Good movie though.
leave a
Watch
comment
it.
below. Let us know what you think. And did you agree or disagree with anything that we said? What did you think of the movie? What would you rate it? Be sure to like this video, share this with your friends, subscribe for more content. Thank you guys for doing this spoilers cast. And I'm your host, Lewis, signing out.
Cool.